Where are you, mainstream media?
Step up and cover this properly. This is about the future of English football. Why is there a media blackout on this? I think the media need to answer that question. Why? Where is the coverage?
The media blackout of Everton's points deduction and appeal has been nothing short of North Korea levels of censorship.
I did an interview on the pitch for Sky Sports News on the day when I sent my first letter to the Premier League challenging a lot of what was in that point in the public domain, and that interview never aired, and they've never said to me why they didn't use an interview. I've never had that as a politician. You would never give an interview to a broadcaster and it just never appears. It's never happened. To say that this isn't a massive issue that needs a proper discussion and debate, I do think pressure was applied for the interview not to be broadcast, and I think this does then raise the question of the Premier League's fitness to regulate, because it has a relationship with broadcasters. It was in the middle of a rights negotiation at the time of this interview. That actually is an issue, and I think it's an issue that needs to be debated in Parliament when the football governance bill arrives. I don't think myself this issue has had the media airing that it should have had. I think people are being tentative about it, they're pulling back, they're not discussing it.
The Premier League are desperate to persuade the government that an independent regulator is not required. So therefore, one of the things they're keen to do is to show that they can keep their own house in order. Trying to persuade the government, you're not needed, we can do it. We've charged Everton, we've charged Forest, we've charged Manchester City.
In terms of just Sky Sports' coverage, Andy Burnham said last week, there's been a media blackout on Everton. Since this points deduction, he's indicated that the Premier League are coming down on Sky and saying, listen, don't put that out. So just for starters, we had the fake crowd noise that was going to go in at the Man United game. He didn't show the plane that was going over the Etihad. He censored protest banners. He pulled Andy Burnham's interview. I know he pulled an interview with Ped and Toffee TV. He pulled an interview with Alan Stubbs. He had a reporter who labelled Goodison a dangerous war zone, and he was hiding over on the Whittle.
As broadcasting, we want to keep away from any trouble on that side of things. So we'll leave aside the river for now.
This sort of murkiness in terms of the media and why people are scared to say it, but then we're getting press releases from Martin Ziegler, while this 3-day appeal is going on. It just stinks. Can't blame fans for thinking there's corruption, because it's not transparent and the media aren't reporting it.
Notice that on this particular article from The Times, unusually there's no paywall, which makes it fairly obvious who's paid for it and wants to get this false narrative out there. Throughout the process, whilst attempting to silence Everton fans' views, there's been copious amounts of underhand client journalism, from the regular journalist mouthpieces on key dates, to try influence the narrative of Everton's case, which is supposedly a fair and independent process. But the Premier League are still suspiciously refusing to provide the minutes from their secretive 10th of August board meeting.
But where are you, mainstream media? Step up and cover this properly. This is about the future of English football. You're conspicuous by your absence and by your silence.